Hello.
Hey, is this Adam?
Yeah, it is, man.
Hey, this is Tommy, bro. How you doing?
Good. You, man?
I'm doing good, man. How can I help you?
I wanted to chat with you today and just get your take on a couple income slash YouTube related things, if that sounds good with you.
Okay. And I just want to let you know that this video is this audio is being recorded and is being uploaded to YouTube, just so you know, it's a little
Yeah, I'm aware. I'm aware. Yeah,
notice.
you're good. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. So, all right, go ahead. Ask away.
Cool. All right. So, yeah, I'm pretty familiar or somewhat familiar with kind of like your story and path of like going through accounting and working a job and then like, running your side stuff, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I guess I guess what I'll ask, well, the primary question I have for you is when it comes to income and income risk, as in like only having one main source or maybe just one or two, it sounds to me, and I recently watched your video about how you kind of gave up like 176K between your business and job, and
Yeah.
now you're obviously doing very well on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I apologize given the fact that I'm not 100% sure if you still do stuff outside of that or not, but I guess like how much of a risk do you see it being when it pertains to like just going all in on the kind of YouTube thing as your main source of income?
Massive risk. It's massive risk. But the idea is that YouTube is not just one source of income in a way. It is because basically you have YouTube being the one paying you, but it's not because also you have a lot of different people that are coming to like watch your channel. So in a way you have a lot of different streams of income, right? Because if I have a
Mhm.
YouTube channel and I have, for example, courses that I sell and merchandise or whatever it is, right? Every person that buys my entire course is also a source of income. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it definitely does. And I guess maybe a little bit of context to help out the discussion is like
Yeah.
I have a YouTube channel. Well, I have two, but one of them's new.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like me recording myself, kind of similar to what you do. And then I have another
Okay.
one that's an animated channel called Betterment Boss, where I do like animated finance ones. And the animated one I've been doing for about 2 or 3 years, making like
Awesome.
some good income, whatever, like cracked 100K subs in November or something. So where
Congrats.
I'm going with this, thank you. And likewise. So I guess where I'm going with this is I totally understand how, YouTube is like a great opportunity for monetization through affiliates, through courses, consulting. I know you have your calls through Patreon and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um, but then at the end of the day, it's just one platform that everything
Yeah.
runs through. And as a content creator for the last few years, and I'm more like LinkedIn in terms of a network of people that also run similar animated channels. I've
Okay.
seen one or two have struggles with their longevity or even just getting like some copyright strikes and getting taken down. So
Mm-hmm.
I would say like any other business, right? There is always some sort of going concern issues around running your business. So
Yeah.
I was interested to, I guess again, like get your take on going all in on one kind of source of income
Yeah.
or one main platform. Given that I know you have like an accounting background and that always involves risk management and stuff.
Well, the answer is this, okay? The way I see YouTube, there's a theory in economics, right? The idea that lawyers make a lot of money and doctors is basically a lot of people try, but not most actually get it there. So the people that do make it to those like careers have to get money for the other people that basically didn't make any money. Now, what I
Mm-hmm.
mean is this, okay? As a YouTuber, you get to make a lot of money all at once, usually for a very short amount of time. Might be, for example, 1 year, might be 2, 3, 4, 5 years, might be 8, 10 years like PewDiePie. You don't know how long it's gonna go on for, but you do know you're probably gonna make a lot more money than the average person. Now,
Yeah.
if you are, for example, gonna take a massive risk, it's basically, hey, I'm gonna like, okay, if I was just to go into accounting, I make like 75K. On YouTube, I make like around 30K per month. So in 2 months, in 2.5 months, I made, for example, what I would make in an accounting like job for the whole year. Now, if I'm smart, over the next 2, 3 years, I'm gonna invest in all that money, which means over 3 years, so far I've made, for example, let's say what I would have made like in 10 years of accounting, right? That's the whole goal. So you gotta grab the money you're making, depending on how much you're making, and you gotta make sure A, you have no debt. B, you have security for an emergency fund, like at least 3 to 6 months. That way you're covered on that part. But you also want to make sure you're investing the bulk of your money into passive income like streams or whatever. For example, for me, I'm very heavy on the stock market, but for some of you it might be or for you, it might just be, for example, Adam, hey, I want to invest into real estate, or I want to diversify into this business or whatever. It all depends, but you make a lot. How much money do you make on YouTube, like per month?
So usually it's varying, obviously, as you're aware, and
Yeah,
Q1 this year is obviously like always downer.
yeah,
So this month probably I don't know, like 5K. This is Canadian. I'm in Canada, so like
yeah.
5K Canadian. But like last year was my first full year being monetized, and I pulled in about 80K.
$80,000. Now,
So honestly, that's like exactly equivalent to how much I make at my job. And I'm like an accountant, CPA, like, so, it's kind of funny because, again, like, I think it's probably one of the reasons why I kind of gravitate towards your content, and
Yeah,
you as a personality is like, we're kind of cut from the same cloth, having done like a similar degree and stuff like that.
yeah,
And it's funny too, because I see a lot of people online, like, there's a lot of ex-accountants, ex-financial analysts, other stuff like
yeah,
this, because I think at a certain point they do the math in their own head, being like, oh, this is not exactly like the best avenue for me to take if I want to make money. And then also there's the whole like enjoyment factor of things. But
yeah,
yeah, no, where I was going with that point though is like, you put in like 7-8 years of post-secondary to get to a certain degree, and then it's like in 1 year or a couple of years you're making the same amount of money.
yeah,
Just in a different way, right? So as you were saying, like, it truly speaks to the power of the internet, and kind of you get those quick, or not quick wins, but you are able to amass quite a bit of money once you get the momentum behind you. As you're saying,
yeah,
like $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month is
yeah.
equivalent in 2 months to what you would make in a
Into an
full
accounting
year.
job.
So
Yeah.
yeah, so I guess like
Are you still active right now as an accountant?
well, I mean, I work in internal audit, so I'm
Okay.
still practicing in a similar kind of vein. I'm not like in the controller, kind of like, how should I put it? Financial statement, like kind of
Yeah.
preparation, stuff like that. Not
The
that
reason
field.
the
But
reason I'm
anyways,
asking that, right, is because basically, if you can make 5K from like your YouTube degree, I mean you could YouTube, not a YouTube degree, but YouTube, right? And also,
yeah.
for example, like 4 or 5K from like your whole job. The answer is you have a very unique opportunity, right? You gotta invest a ton of this money into means to get passive income. So by the time YouTube doesn't work anymore, because it might happen, you never know what's gonna happen, you're still
Mm-hmm.
having passive income come in. So the way I did it was I try to figure out exactly how much money would I need to live on a monthly basis, right? And for me, I don't need on an annual basis. I don't need more than $48,000 a year. I don't need more than that. So what you
Mm-hmm.
want to do is, if you're gonna use the 4% rule, you want to grab a calculator and you want to put in, well, if I need $48,000 a year, divide that by 0.04, right? Because basically this means, hey, I'm gonna take out 4% of my portfolio every single year. That means you need around $1.2 million if you want to be like me or whatever, right? You don't have to be like me. But the answer is, once I know I want to get to this goal, I can work on this over the next 3 to 4 or 5 years, get to this goal, and be good to go. However, if you live in Canada and you're making so much money, what would I do personally? Well, if I make all this money, I would have an emergency fund, right? 3 to 6 months in case anything happens. B, I would make sure I have no debt whatsoever. That way, I don't have any of my money escaping me. C, I would focus on buying a house using the 33% rule. And I would try to pay it off on a 15-year mortgage, but pay it off in like 7 to 10 years as fast as possible. Now, this means you basically lowered your expenses to a point where you can basically survive working at McDonald's. Because all you have to worry about, I don't know about Canada, but in America, it's all about just taxes and insurance and maintenance. That's all for a house is paid off, okay? So if all you have to pay for is just that, your house is paid off, you own it. That means, well, you have food, you have your car, you have like the little insurance and all this stuff, but that's it. Your expenses are going to be super low. So whether YouTube works out, your job fires you, or you just want to quit, you're gonna have enough money coming in where you're just gonna be just fine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think it's that's kind of the strategy I'm trying to employ. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
bought a house at the start of the pandemic, and I definitely bought something that was like very affordable.
Awesome.
You know, like there's a whole like the 4 times rule and all that jazzy stuff where like, you know, whether that's still realistic within housing markets these days, I don't know, but I was able to afford something that was like definitely not stressing on my finances, allows me to have money to invest every month and this and that. I
How
guess
old
it's
are you?
also like, I'm 28.
28. Okay.
I know I sound probably 21, but I'm 28, so you're just gonna have to trust me on that one. But the whole thing is, yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I just think that it's interesting to get people's takes because here's the thing that I see, and I even a little bit struggle with, to be honest with you,
Yeah.
is like, I think that some of people's biggest hurdles to make more money
Yeah.
is the money they're already making. Okay. And I think that, you know, given like, you know, you and I both have educations, we were both working in jobs where you're doing pretty well. Like a lot of people would just be like, my lifetime goal is to make $70,000, $80,000, $90,000.
Yeah.
And then giving up that to do something else. Like I know even in just another video I watched of yours, or actually that same job video, you say you want to have something that's been proven for like 6, 12, or 18 months, so to speak, so that you can say, I think this is going to work out. But I mean, like, again, it's like you kind of have to like give up sometimes certain things that you're already accustomed to or the income that you're making to be able to progress forward. I don't, I have a good job, but I just think I always am asking myself, is there something I would prefer to be doing with my time? I'm like, you know, there's satisficers and optimizers. I'm very much an optimizer. I'm like, what would I prefer to do with my time? And I got to admit, I watched another video of yours. I'm going to sound like the biggest fanboy ever, so whatever.
Okay.
It's good. It's going up in the channel. But the whole thing is this. You kind of said, like, here's how my day is. You're like, I get up, you know, I do my filming, my editing, my workout. And then you said, I talk to my girlfriend for 2 hours, and then the rest of the day is mine. And you can do that because you decided to go all in on the YouTube thing because you know, you'd been so involved in it for like, since, you know, you were like 10 years old, 11, which like definitely goes to show the difference in age between you and I a little bit. But the whole thing is like you made something else work that was going to pay you more for your time than your job. And I like that whole, like, it just seems like you have a very well put together and integrated lifestyle that you've been able to build around, you know, doing something online. Because as someone that's operating online, reach is a very powerful tool that you don't get as an employee because you're providing value really to just your employer versus now you have 330K subs and you're getting thousands, like, you know, thousands of subscribers every day or like every couple of days that are new and all this and that. You're building your brand over time, right? And so I guess what I'm getting at is, like, you know, between running, like right now, I kind of have adopted your model of trying to do YouTube. And what I come to see is, like, you just show up every single day, you put out a video, you put out good quality, and like over time, because I remember, because like you did the math on your calculator, you're big on like the iPhone math on the videos. It's like, make sure to trademark that. It's like, you know, you just said, if I have X amount of videos and they produce X amount of views every single day, I will be able to make this much money. Like, it was just like a very rational way of looking at it. And I was like, oh, so I just need to like continue to try and get better, but also just put in the time. Because right now, dude, like, I'm kind of living the same lifestyle as you, where it's like I get up really early, I film, and then I work my 8 hours, and then after that I edit and stuff like this. And then I'm also managing like my other channel, the animated one, like as more like a business owner than like, I don't create the content anymore because it was just not a good use of my time. But anyways, the whole point is, right, is like there's zero other time for other beneficial things in your life. And I don't know, I just thought to myself, like, you have kind of worked it where, like, you know, as you preach in that common kind of mantra of like health, wealth, love, and happiness, you have it all coming together. And for me, I'm like, I only have like, you know, they say work-life balance. I have work balance. Like, there's only work, you know?
All right, so here's my advice.
I guess this is what I'm trying to get out of,
Yeah. Here's my advice, man, Adam. Um, Health, wealth, love, happiness, right? It sounds like you might. It sounds like you're like, I don't really want to work this job anymore. If I'm just being honest here. How
Hmm.
much money do you have left on the mortgage?
Well, I just took it on, so I have like 220K left.
220. So I'm talking about if
It's
you're making you make like $4,000 from like from your normal job, right? Like let's say per month.
Yeah, like I'm definitely like making, I would say, 5 figures a month,
Okay, so let's say you're
like
making
combined income.
okay, yeah. So if you're doing that, right, just pay that house off as fast as possible, right? You can pay that house off in maybe like 3.5 years or so, and once that house is paid off, it gives you a whirlwind of options because at that point, right, it's a big sacrifice, right? Because you're like, oh my gosh, I have to keep working this 8-hour job. I hate it so much, but it's a big sacrifice, but it'll pay off because once that house is paid off, right? What are your expenses gonna look like every single month? Like how much money do you think you'll be spending every single month? Like imagine no mortgage, just like the taxes and insurance. How much money is Adam spending every month?
So if I'm spending $3,000 right now, it would be $2,000 without a mortgage.
Okay, so $2,000. That include you don't have a car payment or anything like that, right?
No, no,
Okay, and you're debt free, right?
yeah,
Except the mortgage. Yeah. So if you have two
except the
thousand
mortgage.
dollars,
Yeah,
yeah. So I'm talking about $2,000 a month. That's $24,000 a year, right? Do you think you can make that money from YouTube?
I could probably go make it begging on the street.
Yeah, exactly. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So once your expenses are low enough, you eliminate the risk to some level. And if you keep
Hmm.
investing, for example, it's going to be very much easier to make this money in passive income, whether that's through real estate or through the stock market. And at that point, you can start. By the way, I don't recommend you wait 3 to 4 years to implement, for example, wealth, love, happiness. The answer is, what's health about? Well, let me try to work at least an hour every single day, right? That way,
Hmm.
well, not every day, like 5 times a week. That way, you take care of your body. You don't want to be 40. And although Warren Buffett is great, you don't want to look like Warren Buffett per se at 40. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And when it comes to wealth, like you're already doing that, right? You're putting in the hours. You're probably working more than the average person because you have like your whole like work, and then you also have, for example, like the entire like YouTube stuff going on. When it comes to like love, you just gotta go out there and make. You have a girlfriend, a fiance?
No, I'm definitely in the dating game. And you know
Yeah,
what? Don't get me wrong, right? Like, I mean, obviously, like we're aware of what circumstances going on in the world right now, so it's made
yeah,
dating a tad bit harder. But that doesn't stop everything.
yeah.
But I would say that you know what it is actually is that it comes to a situation where if you're spending time, like in my case, if I'm spending time with a girl, I kind of think to myself like like I know the opportunity cost, unfortunately, and it's really sad to say, but it's like if I'm spending time with this person, it doesn't work out, or if it does, but then like
You
I would
can't think like that.
still
You can't
I
think like
feel
that.
inclined to be working on these other things because
Yeah,
I know like my goal is to hit a certain financial
yeah.
milestone or
Don't think
benchmark
like
because
that. Here's why you don't want to
it's
think like that, right? You can't.
go ahead.
I'm a numbers person too, right? But you cannot attach numbers to relationships. At the end of the day, every single thing that we do is just for relationships. At the end of the day, how much money you make, all that stuff is just cool, but it won't matter. Like what matters is basically like the memories you build with the people you most love and enjoy. As far as like having
Hmm.
like a girlfriend and so on and like putting in the time, I've went through a few girls unfortunately to get to my fiance today, right? And it's all about
Yeah.
just putting in time. But you gotta know where you're searching for these girls or whatever you're into. You gotta if you want, for example, like a nice girl, whatever, where that's you go to church or you go, for example, to an event or a seminar or a library. Look for these people in the right places. And whether it's a waste of time, like oh, it didn't end up being nothing. No, it's not. It's not a waste of time because basically you gain experience from it, right? That
Yeah.
there's a book I recommend you. I want to recommend you guys called The 3% Man. The book is gonna
Okay.
help you a lot when it comes to like dating. The guy's is his name is named Corey Wayne. He's kind of weird when it comes to like politics. So don't listen to that. But just yeah, just listen to like the lady stuff. That's gonna help you out a ton. But yeah, you can't. Do you have any friends?
Yeah, I got friends.
Okay, I asked. This is a real thing. You know what I mean? If you have friends, you probably know this, right? If you have a friend and you don't talk to them every so often, eventually you disconnect. All relationships, they need a level of maintenance. So you gotta, what I would recommend you do is you make a 24-hour like schedule, and you're not gonna follow it through 100%. Like, I don't do that either, but 8 hours for sleeping, 10, 12 hours for work, 1 hour for exercise, whatever's left over, dedicated to like your friends and also like your entertainment and your benefit. But relationships are going to be everything, everything.
Mm-hmm. And now I want to go back to that point because, like, I definitely have been thinking in the same vein as you about, or like what you were getting at. It's like you don't have a mortgage, all of a sudden your monthly expenses go down big time.
Yeah.
Now, I have a pretty inexpensive mortgage, so I guess, there's always that argument of like pay down your mortgage versus invest. So in my circumstance, what would you recommend? Because if I'm paying a 2% mortgage, should I be investing instead, right?
No. If I'm Adam, you gotta understand something, right? Like, all this number stuff is pretty. I get it. Like, opportunity cost. Oh, I can invest here 7-10%, or pay down this 2% thing. Oh, inflation is 2%. It's basically free. I get all this nonsense, right? But you gotta look at what you want, right? My name is Adam. I want freedom from my job. What's the best way to get there? Is it still having a mortgage and taking on that risk, or is it, for example, eliminating that? And at that point, I can do whatever I want. If I want to make YouTube videos and I'm only making $10 an hour from that, I don't care. I have fun. This is what I want to do. And I don't want to dedicate my time to anything else. So it's all about what it does. Like, finance is personal. That's why it's called personal finance. It's supposed to be towards you and what your goals are and what you want to achieve.
That's, yeah, it's funny how, like, trying to sell the emotional side to someone that's very big into numbers is sometimes a little bit challenging. But I guess at the end of the day, there's also the whole, like, as long as you're not blowing the money, that's another thing too, right? It's like you're still using it in a good way. And so that's beneficial. But like I said, as an optimizer, you always want to be like, is it better to like invest it or whatnot? But then also, like, you don't have to worry about a mortgage payment. That's kind of sweet too.
You can do both, by the way, because when I buy my very first house, right? Because right now I'm very bullish on the market. But when I buy my very first house, am I gonna stop investing while I'm paying off this mortgage in maybe 5 or 3 years or whatever? The answer is no. I keep investing around 20% while I'm putting like an extra 15% towards that mortgage. That way I'm done a lot faster. But I'm also investing. I'm also getting compound interest. And the way I see it is, you gotta pay a price for your foundation. What's your foundation? Your foundation is, I have a house, I have an emergency fund, and I have passive income. That's the biggest price you're gonna pay. But once you have your house, your emergency fund, and your passive income coming in, that's it. You're paid. Your necessities are taken care of. Everything else that comes along is just like what do you call those things? Like a cherry on top. What is it called? Like icing on the cake? How do you say that, Adam?
Yeah, got a cherry on top.
Yeah, like the cherry on top. Everything's just extra. But you want to have more fun, want to make more money. By all means, go ahead. And I'm never gonna stop making YouTube videos, but I don't want to have to keep making YouTube videos when I don't want to make YouTube videos. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. No, that makes sense to me. Like, I think ultimately at the end of the day, my goal is like, I have not spent, in the last year, my income has like basically doubled, and it's been nice, but I have not spent an extra cent because, like, I'm a frugal guy. I don't need much. As long as I have an internet connection and I can have like good groceries for myself to eat properly, then I'm a happy guy. And obviously during the pandy, it's been easy too to like not spend a lot of money.
Is that what they're calling the?
I got a million names for it, man. You just let me know which one you want. But no, but overall, right? It's like, if you don't need a lot, it makes things easier. But for me, it's like, I would like to be able to just do whatever I want with my time. Like, my money dial, so to speak, is just like ultimate like freedom in what I want to do. And I guess part of like, doing the YouTube is like, well, I want to do that. So regardless of what job you have, chances are it's not exactly like what you want to do or the exact way you would want to spend every single Monday to Friday between those hours. So like at a certain point, there's always going to be that little feeling inside your heart where you're like, it's not exactly what I want to be doing right now. And I think that is just something that I continue to struggle with, I guess, like 5 years into my career,
I think when I was 11 years old and I wanted to be a YouTuber, I thought it was like the best thing ever. And then, you know, my schedule, the one that you like told me initially in the video, it's not my schedule anymore. It's constantly changing. Like when I wake up at 4:30, by 8:40, 2 videos have been sent to my editor. Now I have an editor, by the way. He just signed up like around 4 days ago. His name is Danny. Awesome guy. And then after that, once I get home from the gym, I have to make 2 more videos for the reaction channel. So now it's around 12. From 12 to 5, I'm answering all the questions that you guys call me in and do stuff like that. That's around maybe like 4 or 5 extra videos, like more content. But I don't like all that stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's going to be some parts of what you do that you're probably not going to like. But I like the outcome of getting off a call and be like, oh, I helped this person. Or this person is gonna be better off. That like you're not gonna love 100%. I think that's like a movie thing. It's like a like it's not like, you know, I don't want to say this, but it's not like a Gary Vee thing. You know, Gary Vee is awesome, but it's not like you're not gonna love every moment of everything you do, including your dream job or whatever it is. Like some parts of it you're not gonna like, and that's fine. Like, I'm pretty sure Oprah doesn't like oh, I have to read the script, I have to look at this person, I have to, you know, it's a part of the game.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's a good way of, like, you know, there's always going to be things you don't like, but, you know, sometimes you got to pass around the work, and more hands make for less work, and you're freeing up your time and being respectful of it too. So that makes a ton of sense to me. Yeah, dude, no, this has been like a good chat. I'm really glad we were able to connect. So like, I can't imagine like how much extra value everyone's getting from these calls, and I'm really excited for this this new channel for you. But I guess like the same way you told me, like, just manage your time and keep it balanced. I think if you're running multiple channels, I'll throw that back at you to make sure you keep that fiance happy. But yeah, no, this has been good, and sometimes you just gotta hear some things that you might be telling yourself from another person. It's like when your mom calls you cute, and you're like, doesn't mean a thing. But when that girl calls you cute, you're like, oh, maybe I am cute. So anyways,
you're funny, dude, man. You're funny.
This has been good, dude. This has been good. I do appreciate your time.
All right, Adam. Thank you so much. Any if you want to like talk again, just like feel free to reschedule, and you already know. Thank you so much, bro. Appreciate it.
All right.
Oh, by the way, before you go, you have 2 channels. Shout them out.
All right. So personal channel, just started it up. It's Adam Del Duca. Okay. You can spell it out how it sounds, and maybe you'll find me. And the other channel is Betterment Boss, so BETTERMENT, and then Boss, BOSS. And I'm posting on there enough that you'll find me. So thanks for that. Appreciate that.
All right, awesome. Have a good day, Adam.
You too now. Thanks, Tommy.
All right, peace.
Bye.
All right. That was Adam. Thank you for your call. Hope you guys get some value from this call. I'll see you guys next time. If you want to be on this channel, on these calls, go ahead and basically join the call list. The calendar is free. Just click the link down below. Sign up for a call. I'll call you personally. It is me. You guys see me here. I'm not a clone, I promise. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, hit the bell to get notified. And if you guys want to talk to me one-on-one, join my Patreon, link down below, or send me a DM on Instagram at Tommy Bryson. Now, before I go, if you want to watch another video, another call, well, here's that call right here. And click my face right here. See you guys next time. And as always, peace.